and welcome back. Well, welcome to the Cheap Seats. This is the FPL show this week where we discuss all things that are happening in the FPL. I've got the guys here. We normally ask them who they've transferred in, their differentials and their captains to help you. But since it was the international break and somehow in the middle of the international break, Ronaldo got bought by Manchester United for $3 million a year or less, whatever it is. We're going to have to try and figure out how to get Ronaldo in. So I've got Tala in to try and help us as well. But this week, gents, and I'm going to start with Wahid. Wahid's selections this week are quite interesting, so I'm going to go through that. Wahid went all in Viva Ronaldo. He transferred in Ronaldo and Jota. He transferred out Ings and Bruno. He captained Viva Ronaldo, and Ismail Assar is still his differential. Wahid, is this your big moment to get back to the top?
Well, I'm not sure because every single oak and his cousin has Ronaldo in the side now. So it's about like best juggling your assets. And yeah, so I've decided that Bruno goes out because I'm not sure that he's on penalties or free kicks anymore. And I suspect he might get a few goals, but just not quite the same level of output that he previously had. He's been making really good like late runs into the box, kind of like Lampard, and we saw that against Leeds. So he might still grab a few, but I just don't think his output will be that of Ronaldo. So my trade-off was getting rid of the 12 million in midfield to get the 12.5 million up front. So I had to get rid of Ings, and Ings became Ronaldo, and then left over was Jota. And I've chosen Jota because Firmino is injured and Liverpool don't have the hardest run of games coming up. Jota is a player who doesn't necessarily always look great, but ends up doing something. So yeah, I've chosen him. Though long term, I'm looking at maybe getting Pogba in. I'm not a fan of Pogba's personality, but I feel like there might be a bit of a click between Pogba and Ronaldo. And I reckon Pogba might be loading the bullets for Ronaldo. So we'll see how that goes. Saar is the differential because he was the only player I had in my team who isn't owned by 25% of people.
In the land of the 7.5 for Wahid.
Yeah, no, not anymore. I changed it.
You broke your own rule. You got a player for 12. You had Bruno, but now you're breaking it again. Because you didn't start the season with Bruno.
No, I didn't. In my land of 7.5, I didn't have Bruno Salah. I didn't have Lukaku. I had no one. I loaded myself with 7 and 8.
Yeah, and now you're chasing the rest of us, and you're probably going to catch us after this week. Tala, was it Viva Ronaldo for you? Did you use your wild card?
I think I'm going to hold off on the wild card for now. Sure. I want to sort of use it when Chelsea's games get easier in week 7. I think I want to sort of go full on Chelsea, because basically from week 7 until the halfway point, they have relatively easy games because they've played City, they played Liverpool, they played Arsenal, which is a tough game for Chelsea. Anyway, so I'm just going to move on quickly from that point. So I think I'm going to keep it simple for now. Bruno has to go out because, I think... I don't know. I'm going to maybe say something that's very much a hot take that should be on Talk Sports, but does he like playing with Ronaldo? I don't think so from the evidence of just seeing the Portugal games. So I think his production will fall off. I'll bring in Mo Salah for the next few weeks. And then I have to then make a few other transfers because I already have 3 Liverpool players in my team. So there'll be a bit of rejigging there.
You go heavily on Trent.
Yeah, I love Trent.
Trent's a no-brainer.
Trent will stay in the team, I think, until I play the wild card. Then I just want to see with United. I just want to see how they set up and how they pair Ronaldo. I'm sure he's going to score goals. I'm pretty sure he's going to get at least 20 a season. But I don't want to jump on the train just yet. So let's just see how he goes. But then otherwise, I think my eyes on hopefully getting Lukaku later on. And then with the differential, I've got Emile Smith-Rowe. Hopefully Arsenal scores a goal this weekend. I mean, goodness, it has to happen sometime. So I think that's more hope and prayer than actual sort of expert analysis with that pick.
I decided that no Arsenal player shall touch my team this season. I tried Ben White game week 1, Didn't work out. I thought I'd get a sneaky clean sheet. Didn't help me. So from my selection, I didn't go Viva Ronaldo. I used my wild card last week, so I was just tweaking some things that I was looking for. I brought in Ferran Torres for Riyad Mahrez, largely because Ferran Torres is playing at the top of the castle for City, and regardless of Pep rotation, it looks like he's got nobody to play at the top of the castle for him. So it seems like Ferran could be a long-term situation. So I'm playing that by ear, but I was like, let me get the City player that's actually in front of the goal. And then Abdoulaye Doucouré, 15 points already in the 3 game weeks. Seemingly he's the Doucouré of Watford for 2 years ago. So I'm like at 4.5. Oh, is it 5? He's at 1.5 at 1.7% owned by people. That's good. And then I'm trusting in Harry Kane. Yes, I know I shouldn't be, but I'm sure now it's over. And so can Kane start scoring goals? And I'm banking on that. If he doesn't want to, he's got 2 weeks to prove himself. If not, he's out. Ronaldo's in. It's a simple thing. I'm going with Kane and Lukaku as my front two, and maybe even a Mikel Antonio, just trying to figure out how I'm going to fit him in. But to a certain extent, that's what I'm looking at. So I'm captaining Kane this weekend. He is playing Crystal Palace. Should be easy, but we shall see. AB, let's look at yours. You gave me the double ups, which really bothered me. I don't get this Alan pick at all, apart from the fact that he's 4.5.
That's literally why I transferred in Alan. Because as you can see, I transferred out Dennis and Bruno. So I needed to replace Bruno with a cheap midfield option. So it was Alan. And then Dennis is being replaced by the great one. So Alan's not going to play for me. He's just the residual player because I've got 3 strikers instead of 2, which most people are going with. So I've got 3 quality strikers. And then that's been allowed because of Demarai Gray, because he's cheap. So I've got 2 very cheap midfielders, being Alan and Gray, who I think come to about 10 mil or so. And then, I'm captaining Ronaldo. I'm just a bit worried, though, because I think Ollie is going to try and be a little bit smarter here with team selection, because Cavani hasn't traveled to play international. So Cavani's fit. So does he start Cavani and leave Ronaldo for the Champions League games as a starter because it's his competition, and then Bruno plays better with Cavani than he plays with Ronaldo? So I'm a little worried, and I think a lot of Premier League fans are worried because I just checked now, more people own Mason Greenwood than Cristiano Ronaldo, and that just shows.
No, because we're all waiting to see if Ronaldo's actually going to play on Saturday.
Yeah, so I mean, word on the store, he trained on Tuesday. Yeah,
he trained today, so
yeah.
Guys, it's not like he's going to be short.
This is the fittest footballer in the world. At 30, however old he is fitter than.
Doesn't need to train.
All the guys on your roster, you literally, it's easy. Just put him at the front. He'll score.
Yeah. The only thing that will stop him from starting is potential quarantine issues and all that nonsense that tests and all that.
He was training today. He doesn't need a.
He's still got to get tested. It's a nightmare. COVID is screwed. But United have.
If Ronaldo tests positive, that means Ole sits on the thing because we saw pictures of Ole and Ronaldo in the office.
Yeah.
So that would have been stupid.
Do you think Ronaldo and Cavani would play in the same team together?
Ooh. I think they can. I think they can. I think if we were chasing a game, we could potentially shift Ronaldo to the left and Cavani through in the center, just in the event you're chasing a game, and then you're lumping balls in the box. Really, is what you're doing. Is you're hoping for the header. But I don't think it's going to be something that you'll see from the start. I honestly think it will be like, if you're chasing a game and you need a goal, you put Cavani and Ronaldo on together. And
you guys have chased Wolves and Southampton. It's going to happen more times than once this season. Don't worry.
And last season we were the comeback kings, and that's what we've been at the moment. So it's not like we aren't making it difficult for ourselves. We do that, and then I think that you might see them play together when we do make it difficult for ourselves.
Yes. So
do you remember the game we played against you, Dean? What happened there?
The 6-1 one. We had
no. The second one, eh? Oh yeah, similar.
You mean when you poked Son's eyes out?
So, yeah,
Look, Son was always going to cry. Guys, Son was always going to cry. That's
Man
a given.
doesn't cry easily. He went to the army to give him a break.
Yes, he did. And
Son was
Son
always
trained
crying.
hard.
he might have been the accountant at the army. No one said he fought.
He won a medal for the best warrior or soldier, whatever you want to call it. In the South
Warrior.
Korean army.
Best chef
I don't know what they call them. They're ninjas. They could be, I don't know.
Okay, let's bring it back. Let's bring it back a little bit. Now we know that Ole is a comeback king and he's going to try to use Ronaldo creatively, which baffles me, but it's fine because all I ever knew growing up was Ronaldo being the star of my nightmares. Dean, here's your selections. You went Wolves, which is fun with Marcel. You're still captaining Mikel Antonio. That seems like it's going to be a good one. And you did the whole Viva Ronaldo, bye-bye Bruno.
Yeah, I think Ronaldo FOMO is going to hit a lot of guys before the deadline because all fine and well, if Ronaldo doesn't play, then you'll feel justified. But if he does and he goes and scores, he's going to become the most owned player in FPL like overnight. So don't want to pay more than 12.5 already for him, and his price is just probably going to go up anyway if he does well on Sunday. So kind of wanted to get him in early.
He'd have to score a hat trick.
Fair enough, but it's possible with him. And then
he scored a hat trick.
Yeah, so I saw that as well. So I back Ronaldo there. The only thing is I don't want to captain him because again you don't know if he will play or not. So going for a bit of a safer captain there with Antonio. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But then Wolves fixtures look really look really good. Sorry, and then I saw that Marcel bombing up the side of the pitch against Spurs, and he was doing the same thing against United. So Wolves have got Watford, Brentford, Southampton, Newcastle as their next four. So at 4.5, I reckon he's a good bet. Wolves fixtures. I mean, even looking at someone like Traore, but they just need to start scoring. I think as soon as Wolves start scoring and can actually finish, there'll be some pretty good options there going forward.
That Trincão's a very interesting option if you can finish.
So I think Wolves guys are going to look good. And then there's also the one thing I did want to say is if you've got Son in your team, he picked up a calf injury in training.
Sorry, bro.
So apparently it's just a precaution. So he's not playing tonight against Lebanon, but so he picked up a cough injury. So touch and go with Son this weekend. So just keep that in mind.
Did he cry?
No, because he's an absolute warrior. Don't worry.
And a soldier. Okay, so that means I might have to revisit my Kane conversation because it's only Kane and Son. It can't be either or. But guys, any other captaincy picks? I know that Brentford's playing Brighton, and is Ivan Toney still an asset that we are looking at?
Not when Armstrong's available. No.
Ooh. But Southampton's got. Is Southampton even playing this weekend?
Southampton have got West Ham and then City.
They've got West Ham. Okay, cool.
I would consider someone like Salah, very popular. Leeds, I mean, it's a no-brainer. They don't know how to defend. And then Dominic Calvert-Lewin as a differential captain.
DCL.
I'm still on the DCL train, guys. Still on it.
Everton's got Burnley on Monday night. That's going to be quite nice.
I reckon Brandon Williams for Norwich against Arsenal, good pick, because you know they're not going to score. I think that's a good one.
Actual captain, triple captain Pookie. You're going to see flames. Going to see things in that relegation 6-pointer. Okay, guys. Thank you very, very much for joining us. Remember, the deadline closes on Saturday, so you were warned. Guys, thank you very much for joining. Have a great weekend and all the best with all the Viva Ronaldos and everything else that comes with it. From myself and the rest of the guys, have a good weekend and le sale. Bye.